Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo. This is my daughter Jedi Pirillo. Her mother Diana Pirillo has dressed her in a nice little Darth Vader onesie with magenta pants. I know they don't match, but she doesn't mind. Neither my wife nor Jedi. Jedi is with me right now because mom is preoccupied. She has to do other things. So it is, once again, Bring Your Daughter to Work Day. Thank you for joining me for another live edition of the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short. Your daily dose of geek news, product views, and answers that you can use. Like an answer to the question, why does Daddy have a wet spot on his shirt? Right there. Right there where his neck is, and where his neck meets the shoulder there. It's because someone's lunch didn't want to stay down. So, I don't know if I'm going to be rocking her in my arms throughout the entire broadcast or setting her inside a rocking cradle, because it is rocking. It's like one of your favorite gadgets so far. It's Mamaroo, and I ended up exchanging some of the free Amazon gift cards that we've been earning by way of go.tagjag.com/free apps and go.tagjag.com/free points. So it took me a while to earn it, but it's worth it, isn't it? You like the kangaroo setting. The kangaroo just kind of bounces like this, and believe it or not, that actually sometimes helps. But she just ate, and we're not sure if she's done regurgitating, so I'm going to keep an eye on you. If you promise to keep an eye on me, can we do that? Boop. So, the big news today is that we have 924 supernomies. Yeah. And even bigger news, I'm possibly doing 2 other live streams with Jedi today, including the Q&A with you and me, and the Supernomies Hangout should be happening later. I don't know if Mommy will be joining us for that. No, really. Thank you to the 924 people who hopefully their pledges will go through. We've had a few people kind of lie and cheat their way through getting bonuses, and I don't really like that. But these 924 people, I believe I like. Thank you for keeping everything up to date. Thank you for allowing me to bring my daughter to work. This is work. Okay, now I gotta move on with the whole work thing. You ready for this? I'm gonna lay it on you. Windows 10. Microsoft has completely skipped over Windows 9, and some people seem to be upset about that. Me? It's just a number. It's kind of funny because you have OS 10 and Windows 10. I'm sure people are going to be saying, oh, Microsoft's just trying to be like Apple. No, I don't think so. Not at all. So, here's the thing. And Jedi, feel free to say no. But when Windows 8, the consumer preview came about, hang on, do we have a burpee? We got a burpee? What do we need? She's just curious about the world around her right now. Okay, let's, you want to come to the shoulder? You ready to lay back? Ooh, it looks like we have something ready to come out again. Make it the 3rd time. I'm ready with a cloth. Ready when you are. Windows 10, with Windows 8 Consumer Preview, your grandfather sat right here in this chair and tried Windows 8 for the first time. And so if you want, you can be the first baby to try Windows 10 when it becomes available on October 1st. That's tomorrow. But it'll only run on x86 PCs or computers on that platform. So just keep that in mind. And Windows 10 seems to be like Chris Pirillo was right edition. I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought Windows 8 was spectacular in certain scenarios, but not every scenario. And it seems that Microsoft is basically illustrating that with what they've done with Windows 10. It seems to be between Windows 7 and Windows 8. I know. It's okay. You don't have to switch. You don't have to upgrade. If you don't want to, it's okay. Whatever you need. But you'll be able to take part of a preview if you want. Microsoft is kind of opening the beta, and I think for good reason. I'm kind of excited about it myself. What, baby? What? Apparently I need to rock more. I'm not moving you enough? Is that what's going on? Or you still have something in you? You still got something in you still trying to come out? You're like Microsoft, huh? You're just going to keep trying? I think Windows 10 will succeed because it's very reminiscent of Windows 7, and Windows 7 did very well in the marketplace. It is still kind of doing very well, much to Microsoft's chagrin. But it's kind of like the right kind of hybrid. Is it cold in my workshop? I'm sorry about that. I put you want the blanket? Is that what's, you want, hang on. I'm just troubleshooting, that's all I'm doing. See, it's not terribly difficult to be a geek father. It's kind of like being a geek with hardware. I mean, you've got soft, super software in your hands, and you just got to troubleshoot your way through problems. So is she cold? Is she hungry? Does she need burping? And I guess Microsoft's kind of doing the same thing, with Windows. They're trying to figure out if Windows needs to burp. Does Windows need a burp? We don't know, but we're going to try it. Yeah, we can try it tomorrow. Hang on. Do you need a binky? Is it binky time? Binky time, binky time. Oh, no. Okay, no binky for you then. What do you need? You need me to move on because we've talked about Windows enough? People can watch the video for themselves. I even asked them if they wanted me to have my daddy test it. My daddy, your grandfather. Because we had fun with the Windows 8 when it came out, but I think Windows 10 is going to be completely different. And that's a good thing. And I'm not going to sit here and scream, I told you so. I'm just very happy to know that everything I was saying about the usability was pretty much proven to be true. So if people would just give me a little flexibility. Oh, okay. A little flexibility. That's all daddies need. They need a little flexibility. We got another one in there. I think we got another one in there. Got the links for you in this video's description. I'm going to try to put her in the swing just to see if that is enough for her. She may have a little bit of gas in her yet, but we're going to see. We're going to keep an eye on you. We're going to keep an eye on you. You can look around my workshop, see what you see. I know you're feeling curious, huh? Well, one thing Daddy's not going to do is change your diaper live on YouTube. That would be a little too much. That's not a product view that anybody wants, baby. Okay, let's go ahead and cover you up here. Make sure you're toasty. And hopefully that'll be enough to kind of calm her down and allow me to move forward. Whew. Talking about geek stuff and taking care of a baby. That's multitasking. I know some people have said, oh, true multitasking. That, my friends, is true multitasking. Okay, you seem to be okay for the moment. Okay, I'm going to move on. A huge, really, news for those who have appreciated Windows and those even who have moved away from Windows at this stage because they didn't feel like it was going the right direction. I think Windows 10 is the reboot that Microsoft needed. I think I feel good about it. I'm excited because I think it'll be Microsoft's take on Windows in a way that users need Windows to be. The big question is it enough? Is it going to be enough to win people over? And I don't have an answer to that question. Nobody really has an answer to that question. I think Windows 10 will be adopted much more rapidly than Windows 8 was. I think there will be a lot less pushback. Even from the interface that I saw, it looks fantastic. I think the implementation of, or I should say a reimagining, really a boosting what the start menu is. The tiles that you normally see on a Windows phone or specifically on the start screen in Windows 8, are now kind of integrated within the start menu. I think it's a good place to put them. It's kind of like little widgets right there in your start menu, so it's pretty fantastic. Now, if you did not want to download a copy, it's completely up to you. I plan on at least taking a look at a virtual machine, and I assume that'll be available by way of Parallels at some point in the extremely near future. By way of one of the Supernomies, Earl Green, the first movie ever dubbed in the Navajo language is quite possibly Star Wars Episode 4. That's kind of neat. I think it's fantastic. Right now, Jedi's kind of staring at my shelves filled with Vader things, wondering if I'm going to stick her up there because she's got the Vader onesie. No, you're fine. You're fine. She seems to be doing okay. And so the Mamaroo is doing its job. You want a product accolade. I mean, there are a lot of swings and rockers out there, and if you're not a parent, you probably don't care. But, a lot of them really don't work very well, and all you want the rocker to do is to keep your baby calm. And I like the variety of settings, the fact that it's electronic. You can even plug in an MP3 player. You can play MP3s. There's a little built-in speaker and a headphone jack. It even has little, sounds that you can play, like the rainforest. I think it's got a rainforest and, rain, which we don't really need the sound effects for that, do we, Jedi? No, because we're in Seattle. It's kind of rainy. I don't know why I didn't change my shirt. Actually, I do know why I didn't change my shirt before this broadcast, because she spit up minutes before. It's... seriously, look at that. It kind of blends in. Yeah, you couldn't have picked a better day. Or a better spot. So, regurgitate all you want. But not right now. I hope we're done. If she starts... bless you. fading away. I might bring her back on. Google. Just in case you were thinking that I wasn't going to talk about Google today, that's not true. Actually, there's a little tip I gotta share with you, and I might tweet this out later too. This is really a shortcut that I've been using, and I don't know if many people do this, but one of the things that I've needed for some time is the ability to search for a word, like a search term on Google. Well, you can't just highlight something in, let's say, an email application. I'm just going to open up an email here from this person, and let's say I'm searching for a situation, not the situation. So if I'm looking for a definition for a word, or if I want to search for something, a term or a word on Google, here's what you do. You tap to highlight, and then of course it highlights the word or the phrase, and then you tap define. And then when you've tapped define, what you can do is then subsequently, no definition may come up for the word or the phrase, but you can search the web. And therefore, you don't even need to copy and paste. You just highlight the word or the phrase, click tap define, and then in the definition, if there's no definition, press search web. Search web. It's a quick two-step way of searching for something in a default search engine on iOS. I use it all the time. Like, I need to search for something. That's how I do it. Really, honestly, it's pretty straightforward. I think anybody could agree. Google, back to Google, now that I've shared a tip, is shutting down Orkut today. So I guess that means you're going to have to find me on Ello. A few people are using Ello so far. That's Ello.co. I don't know where it's going, really. I have 300 people who follow me there, or 200 people, I think. And the funny thing is, I've got 200 people who follow me on Ello, and those 200 people, more of them see my posts on Ello, those 200 people, than 154,000 people who like me on Facebook. Because Facebook hides my stuff. And Ello doesn't right now. So I like Ello. Ello, not perfect, definitely not perfect. But it's at least a step in the right direction. At least I can better connect with people. You want to connect with someone, that's all I care about. I want to connect with you whatever platform you want. That's why I don't get tripped up on, you can only connect with me on this platform or another. Hey, wherever you're most comfortable, I'm likely most comfortable. Most likely. That's not always the case. Now the question is, with Google closing down Orkut, and which, by the way, I was on Orkut at the time that Orkut was brand new. It was when social networking was just beginning, and we really didn't understand its place or its role. Someone's got the hiccups. Maybe you have the hiccups too. But the baby right now has the hiccups. We didn't understand where Orkut sat, and subsequently, we'd connect with people that we knew about. We might follow their blogs. We didn't have Twitter, didn't have Facebook, didn't have any of those things. So it was pretty exciting to be on Orkut, to connect with people otherwise you couldn't necessarily connect with. And I really enjoyed it for what it was. Didn't use it for very long, though. I think for about a year or so, and then blogging kind of took off, and I forgot about Orkut. Of course, maintained the account throughout the years, but not anymore. Google shuttering Orkut, closing the shutters on Orkut, no longer exists. Now, the question is when are they going to do that to Google+? And I know some people would say, they're never going to do that to Google+. I don't know. I think Google+ is evolving. I thought it was going to be the identity platform, but Google's kind of not really taking that direction with it. Maybe it's going to evolve into a better YouTube commenting system, at which point I wonder, well, why doesn't it get there already? Because it's still not great. So I don't know what Google+ is going to become. Maybe it'll just become Hangouts. Another place to connect with community. I don't know, but Google Plus had a chance to succeed. Unfortunately, Google shoved it down our throats. It's just the way they decided to do it. I think that was a mistake. Ello is not being shoved down my throat. It's just, hey, join if you want. Get an invite code if you want. And I'd be happy to do that. We got the hiccups. Do you mind if I pick up my daughter to see if I can solve her hiccup problem? Sometimes, kind of rocking her in my hands kind of helps. Okay, give me a moment. As I talk through the next headline. Speaking of Windows, and not really PCs, but Windows in general, Earl Green, one of our supernomies, sent me another... What are you chewing on, baby? You got nothing you're chewing on. You got your binky. Sent me another headline talking about HP's new super affordable laptops that come in two crazy colors, like a magenta and a bluish type of color. They will not be for power users, unfortunately. But they're the Stream laptops, basically trying to carve out a piece of Chromebook's turf. That's what it boils down to. So HP is going to give that a shot, see how well it works. I like the Chromebooks for what they are, not for what they're not. You got to treat them for what they are. They're great web access machines, and with more and more of our lives going onto the web, it's good to have something that's easy to use and always up to date and super affordable. So congratulations HP for making a Windows-like Chromebook-ishness. That's really what they're going for, yes? Still got the hiccups, huh? All right, let's see if we can get through this then. Chrome! Now, speaking of Chrome, there's also the Chromecast. It's getting competition. There apparently is a group that is going to take the Firefox OS and put it on something called a Matchstick. It looks like a Chromecast, plugs into an HDMI port, and has to be crowdfunded. So I don't know if I'm going to be crowdfunding it, but it'll be nice to have competition. I think it's a good way of going. I'm very, very shy about spending any of my money on crowdfunded tech unless I've had a chance to use it. But I think their goals are reasonable, not terribly lofty, and they plan on keeping everything open, so you could build your own matchbook if you want. Might be a project worth backing if you didn't like the Chromecast, didn't want an Apple TV, not a fan of Amazon TV, or whatever, or Amazon Fire TV, whatever they're calling it today. If you're not a fan of those things, not a big deal. There is now a viable, potential alternative in the Firefox OS run Matchstick. You have a chance to back that. Also in the news today from Apple, we've got the GM, the Golden Master Candidate for developers, OS 10 Yosemite. That's the next version of OS 10. It's coming soon. Yeah, we got a burpee. Okay, let's try this. Try this position here. Is that good? So if you're a developer, or if you want to register as a developer, you can get the GM build. This may be the final copy, or final version of Yosemite in beta stages before it ships here in the next month or so. And I'm very much looking forward to that. Not going to download until it's ready, really. In fact, I've debated whether or not I'm just going to wait for everybody to get it and then give my initial impressions as everybody gets it. Boy, we are all sorts of wet today, aren't we? She kind of didn't do it just now, but she regurgitated on herself earlier. But that's okay. It soaked it up. It soaked it up. Let's all sing the Windows song, the Windows song, the Windows song. Let's all sing Windows together. The Windows song. Are we Supergirl? You my hero? You're my superhero? Okay. What? She got the gases? Okay, I'm going to try putting you back in the swing now, because the hiccups are not going to go away. I know. You want to try the binky again, though? I heard something there. Ooh. Hang on. What time is it? It should be safe. She may be hungry again. Give me a second. You want to try a little? You want to try? Okay. Okay, there we go. Tetris may very well be a movie. Yeah, I love Tetris. My favorite video game of all time. But a movie? Really? Couldn't be any worse than Battleship. Tetris, the movie. It's a possibility. I don't know if it's absolutely going to happen. I'd question what the hell it's going to be. Now, if they made it like Tron in some way, shape, or form, that'd be cool. Somehow. But would it be like maze-ish? But, you know, Tetris wasn't a maze game. It was a puzzle game, a good puzzle game, but has there ever been a movie made about a puzzle? Jedi, do you know of one? Yeah, neither do I. Okay, next headline. Hang on just a second. Scrolling up. Reddit apparently has raised $50 million, and they are planning their own cryptocurrency to give back to their users. It's kind of nice. I don't know how well it's going to work, but I think that's great. Giving something back to the people who help, you know, you get from point A to point B. If you have the revenue to spare, and let's face it, $50 million is $50 million more than we have. You feel me? You feel me? Not yet, but you will. I feel you. So it's not exactly a full bottle, but she seems happy, content. Will this put you to sleep? trying to keep her head elevated somewhat. You don't want to lean her completely back, or the baby. It's just, hang on. Ah, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So congratulations, Reddit, and I'll be very interested in following what happens with your cryptocurrency. But I'm very, very, I feel uplifted, really, even though I don't plan on participating. It's really good to give back to your community in that capacity. Pebble is getting a permanent price cut, plus background sleep and activity tracking. I had a Pebble once, and it wasn't for me. It really wasn't for me. You know what else isn't for me? Doing this here. I'm not pushing down. I'm holding the bottle there, because my hand was getting tired there, and I need a pillow. This is normally where I get a pillow, or ask Diana for a pillow. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna support your neck, and we're gonna reach over here. We're gonna give you a blanket, and then oh yeah, there we go, nice and soft. Are you done with that? Because you don't really have much else in there, kiddo. Can we switch you to a binky and be happy? You're sucking on nothing, kid. Okay, we'll just. Hey, she's not crying. But just at this point, just know she is sucking on air, literally sucking on air. Okay, can you hold that in your mouth there? Because I gotta figure out how to do this. I'm gonna give the Supernomies the credit that they deserve. This presentation will be updated in the next 10 days or so. Whew. And I've got the air conditioning on. Your eyes are closing. This is a good sign. I think being a good father is just being attentive. Sometimes I feel like I'm a father to many of the people who watch me. I try to be attentive, as attentive as I can be. But, you know, she is my priority. She is my number one. You know, this really, you know, most of what I had planned on covering today up to that point. A couple of articles of note. One, by way of Quotidian Light, Parenting as a Gen Xer. We're the first generation of parents in the age of iEverything. And it seems like a lot of parents are stymied in the face of technology. It's not that we reject it outright. It's just that we didn't grow up with it. So knowing how we dealt with technology as kids was different. You know, access to everything just was non-existent. You know, I take the stance of wait until the kid is responsible enough to handle the responsibilities of everything that the technology might be able to bring him or her. Another note that I made, there's a free app called Human, and it's an app for iOS, and it ties into HealthKit that challenges you to move 30 minutes or more every day. Oh, it says runs on all your favorite devices. So I don't know if it's just iOS. It may be Android as well, because your Android device may be one of your favorite devices. I don't know. Could be. I've been running it, though, and what's nice about it is that I'm walking up and down the hallways like you would not believe with Jedi, which I'd probably be doing right now. She's doing okay. She's just sucking air, which means we've got some big burps coming. Pulling down my shirt, kid. Hang on, maybe I can switch her to the binky. I feel like, I know. I feel like what? Like you're being watched. If I switch her to the binky, this will be much easier. There we go. Slipped right out of her mouth, none the wiser. You want this? You want the binky? Take the binky. She's moving her lips up and down. I need to get it in there. Get in there. Come on. There we go. A little bit more. Do you not want it? I probably shouldn't. Okay, just a little bit. Are you good? You're good. Okay, fine. You're good. I got a sleeping baby. See, I put her to sleep, which hopefully I didn't do for everybody out there. I hope I didn't put everybody to sleep. You know, doing this video live on the internet. It's fun to do, right? Okay, Jenna, can you push up my glasses? They keep slipping down because I'm kind of hot and sweaty because I'm doing a lot here. Can you guys still hear me? Oh, thank God the microphone is working. She's fast asleep now. Please tell me you're not asleep. Okay, hang on. Let's shift my hand over here. Scroll down to see if there are any questions from the community. Ooh, George Barrett says, sounds like they're starting with Tetris as a popular game and forcing a movie out of it rather than actually having a good idea for a movie. Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, I love Tetris. I've got a Tetris shelf currently in my workshop, although I'm not sure if I'm going to be keeping the Tetris shelf because I need more room for Vaders, not for Jedi. Jedi's good. Here, you want it? Here, see, there we go. This is the closest you've ever been to this camera. Look at that. This is the deluxe baby edition of TLDR. By the way, I have to make a certain note. A large part of the Supernomies, your pledges, the patrons, as they were called, a large part of that is seriously going to support Baby Jedi. We got to pay our own health insurance. I don't work for another company, for better or for worse, and so we have to manage on our own, and everybody who supports is very, very helpful. So thank you to all the Supernomies. You're helping make sure that Jedi can go to work with Daddy every day. Maybe not always in the same room. This is not what TLDR is turning into. It's what the vlogs are turning into, but not TLDR outright. Let's see here. What else do we have from the community? I have an Apple TV, and it's great, but like to try the Chromecast. Well, the Chromecast, Ryan Bragg, is kind of in Geek Impulse Buy territory. I'm sorry, am I too loud? Is Daddy too loud? Should we have gas? All that air has got to go somewhere. The beauty of the Chromecast is it's extremely affordable, like $29, $30. Geek Impulse Buy territory. Hell, my Fire HD 6, the new Amazon Fire tablet, is coming 2 days from now. So I'm going to be doing an unboxing, likely a live unboxing of that here as the TLDR for that day. That's kind of exciting because I have not looked at an Amazon product in quite some time. I was waiting for them to update the core version of their fork from Android, and it looks like with this new version, they're starting with KitKat, not to be confused with the actual KitKat bar. But I'm very much looking forward to giving that a shot to see if the Amazon user experience has improved since last I used an Amazon hardware product in relation to the software that they're developing. All right, let's see here. Scrolling down. It would be really helpful if Daddy had a larger team. But that's okay. Jedi will be my Padawan. I'm going to teach her the ways of how to do things that I do. And maybe she'll want to do them too. About whatever she wants. Maybe. Or maybe not. Yep, Daddy's still here. Yeah, let's keep rocking you because sleepy time is fun time. Struggling to keep her eyes open right now, as I'm sure many of you are. Let's see here. Chromecast now works with Twitch. I did not know that. Richard Wooding loves Google+. Yeah, and Richard is one of the nicer people I've met on Google+. There are a few nice people on Google+. Richard Wooding is absolutely one of them. Ryan's waiting for his Ello invite code. You can wait. It's still a little buggy. Totally forgot to look at Microsoft News today. What's wrong with me? That guy commenting says, "Oh, nothing's wrong with you." You know, it's I think more interesting for me rather than just hearing the news is trying it for myself, knowing that it's a preview. I very much believe that. I guess to kind of, come full circle with what I was talking about at the beginning of the broadcast, I think Microsoft is stepping in the right direction. They did everything I would have hoped they could have done. Wish they would have done it with Windows 8. But see, this is the thing. People forget. And this is probably one of the most frustrating things that I face on a daily basis. It's frustrating to put an opinion out there, popular or unpopular, and be chastised for it. And there are times that you're going to disagree with something that someone says. I mean, we all are not going to have the same opinion about everything. But when I came out and said the things I said about Windows 8, I wasn't doing it to hurt anybody. I certainly wasn't questioning your choice if you chose Windows 8 as a platform. I just knew that it was replete with UX catastrophes, and that it likely would not succeed in the marketplace. This is what I said. Now, some people would look at that and say, well, you're the reason it failed. You give me way more credit than I deserve, I can tell you that much right now. I don't have that much power. I just knew that usability was the one thing that Microsoft should not have compromised. And even though Ballmer said, no compromises, they made a massive compromise in a place where they should not have made a compromise, the usability. And I was unwavering, despite being attacked several times over by people who just had a different opinion. And like I said, that's fine as long as you can accept my opinion as my opinion, and I've been able to back up my opinion with some amount of facts and empirical evidence. Well, now a couple years later, it seems that everybody is like, oh well, yeah, Windows 8 was. Well, where were they back then? Where were they back then? Where were they when Microsoft could have turned left instead of turning right? The internet seems to forget quickly. And what do we got here? Are we trying to forget lunch? Here, let me hang on just a second. Give me a second. There we go. The internet forgets things quickly, which is very disappointing because they'll forget my perspective from a couple years ago, even though my perspective in terms of a general industry is very frequently shown to be correct. There are times that I'm not correct, plenty of times, but this is a case where I wish people would just have more perspective. One of the reasons why it's interesting for me to do what I do now is because there aren't a lot of people who have a terrible amount of experience. It's easy to set up a YouTube channel or a Twitter account and come along and show a gadget or a gizmo, but where's the perspective? How long has someone been in the industry? Have they been there long enough to have perspective and have experiences to know that when someone spreads a rumor, knowing if it's going to likely be true or likely not be true based on their past and what they've shared in the past? And I think that's one of the things that I find lacking in tech, quote-unquote, journalism is it's not integrity. I don't think it's an issue of integrity. I think it's credibility. The credibility is the one thing that I wish was easier to convey. But it seems that in a day and age when people race for page views or clicks, impressions, that is kind of eschewed. It's pushed to the side. And that's concerning to me because there are a lot of people who pay attention to anything that's in front of them. And unfortunately, that to me takes away from not what someone's saying, but everything that surrounds what someone's saying. It's context. I'm likely to take someone's advice more seriously if they've had a great degree of experience in what they're dealing with or what they're talking about versus some person who just got online last year. There's credibility, I think, goes a long way, especially in a day and age when it's easy to get to information, but to get to that knowledge, to get to that deeper understanding and perspectives, it doesn't take much for someone to do. To find a valid source of information, someone who has a great degree of perspective and, admittedly, bias. Everyone's biased. I certainly would be remiss if I didn't say that, being 16, 17 years dealing with this stuff, that I didn't have bias. Everyone has bias. Accusing someone of being biased is like accusing them of being human. Yeah, we all have different experiences that shape everything that we do and we experience from that point forward. It's a challenge when that context doesn't come with content. And I think that's if there's anything that's missing in the world of not just tech journalism, but tech reporting, or just the world of technology and content, it's context, it's credibility. And I would hope that people would take what I said and not just compare it to someone who just got online and is sharing the shiny new thing. I've got that experience, and I think that counts for something. I'd like to believe it counts for something, and let me put it to you this way. When I look at what someone else is sharing, I take a look at their experience. Where are they coming from? What's their experience? Do they have a track record? What is that track record? That, to me, weighs just as heavily as what they're saying. Context. Man, I wish we had more of it. That's the one problem. You want to solve a problem. That's a big problem. And probably not just for tech either. For any industry, really. For any industry. Oh, do we have a sleeping baby? Probably put everybody to sleep with that speech. Okay, here's what Daddy, me, Vodder, she can call me Vodder. I'm her Vodder. No, I am your father. I wanted to unbox the number 26 Darth Vader because I've got 2 of them in the package and I just have not had time. Jedi takes precedence. Oh, it was so cute. Oh God, I cannot believe I just said cute in one of my videos that was covering geek stuff. But I did, and I'm going to continue to roll with it, so bear with me. Take a look at any of my social feeds. Today, I posted a picture of her basically clutching a little Darth Vader a stuffed animal of sorts, a stuffed Vader, a little tiny thing, not much smaller than she is. And it may be her first stuffed toy is a little Vader, and she just clung to it, and she was so seemingly happy. I don't know if she knows how to be happy yet. I think she knows how to be content. And right now she is very content, which I do not want to interrupt. So I have to record a second video, second stream with everybody right now. And everybody who's tuned in, hopefully you're going to be able to tune in for that. Hang on just a second. How am I gonna? Give me a second. I gotta figure it out. Let me go backwards here. I gotta see the topic that I'm covering. Oops, I went back too far. Today I'm covering a question: is tech interfering in childhood? Okay, that's the question I'm going to be addressing. I do 5 of these videos every week. Q&A with you and me. I do those live because I really hate editing video, which is the reason why I do live videos. They're easy. Thank you for all the feedback on the podcast. I do plan on moving forward with that sooner rather than later. It'll be very storytelling meets Ask Me Anything meets Geeking Out meets vlog. Does that make sense? Makes sense to me. And then tonight, after I'm done with that Q&A with you and me, and Jedi may be in her crib for that, after I'm done with that, then I'm going to be setting up the Google Plus Hangout, the Hangout with the Supernomies. I can't remember which pledge level and higher gets it, but I asked everybody last night, so look for that post. Everybody at that pledge level or higher, if you're one of our supporters, at that pledge level. If that am I babbling? Hopefully this makes sense. I'm planning on a Hangout, and it'll likely be a public Hangout, and Jedi may be rocking in the background. Yeah, she fell asleep. So, thank you again for all of your support. That's a thumbs up there. And thank you for, just being you. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, generally doing good things. Hopefully you are. Smile if you haven't already. Just know that someone out there cares about you. I do. If you care about me, believe you me, I care about you. May not be able to address everybody, but it just doesn't work that way. I mean, I'm smiling to all the thousands of people watching me right now. I assume you're smiling back. But this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices